What if I told you that one of the most powerful medicines we know is free? No prescription, no complicated technology, no miracle supplement, just movement. Not because it makes us look better, not because it helps us fit into smaller clothes, but because it helps us live longer, feel happier, and think more clearly, and also remain independent for more years of our lives. Tonight on StJohn-On-Air, I want to talk about why our bodies were designed to move, why regular physical activity is one of the most effective lifestyle choices we can make for our health, and why movement isn't a punishment, it's a privilege. One of my favorite thinkers on this topic is evolutionary biologist Dr. Daniel Lieberman from Harvard University. In his book Exercise, he challenges one of the biggest myths about physical activity. The myth is this: humans evolved because they loved exercise. Actually, we didn't. According to Lieberman, our ancestors evolved to conserve energy whenever possible because calories were precious. They moved when movement had a purpose: to gather food, to hunt, to build, to care for others. Our brains still work that way today. We're not broken because we don't always feel like exercising. Our biology was shaped in a world where unnecessary effort could reduce our chances of survival. The problem is, our world has changed much faster than our biology has. When we move, something remarkable happens inside us. Neuroscientist Dr. Wendy Suzuki has spent years studying how exercise affects the brain. Her research shows that regular aerobic exercise improves memory, attention, learning, mood, executive functioning. One reason is that exercise increases the production of brain-delivered neurotrophic factor, often called BDNF, a protein that supports the growth, survival, and communication of brain cells. Exercise doesn't just strengthen muscles, it strengthens the brain. In many ways, exercise is brain training disguised as physical activity. Psychologist Dr. Sonia Lieberman, who studies happiness, has found that regular physical activity is one of the lifestyle habits most consistently associated with greater well-being. Not because every workout feels enjoyable. Let's be honest, sometimes they don't. But afterwards, something often changes. Our mood lifts, stress softens, and the world feels a little lighter. Psychiatrist Dr. John Ratey, author of Spark, famously describes exercise as miracle grow for the brain. It's a wonderful image. Movement helps create the conditions for a healthier, more adaptable brain. So why does exercise help us live longer? Daniel Lieberman argues something fascinating. Exercise doesn't simply add years to life. It helps us stay healthier for longer by reducing the risk of many chronic diseases associated with aging. Research from physician Dr. Aimin Lee, whose work helped shape international physical activity guidelines, shows that regular physical activity lowers the risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, several common cancers, depression, and cognitive decline. Exercise scientist Dr. Blair spent decades demonstrating that cardiorespiratory fitness is one of the strongest predictors of long-term health and long life. Movement is one of the few lifestyle interventions that benefits almost every organ system simultaneously. Very few medicines can do that. A wonderful example of this is Aristine Shepherd. She began exercising seriously in her 50s, not 20s, not 30s, her 50s. She went on to become one of the world's oldest competitive bodybuilders and continues to inspire people well into her 80s. What's remarkable isn't simply her fitness, it's her consistency. She often says that discipline, not motivation, is what keeps her going. Her story reminds us that it's never too late to begin. When I first started running, I wasn't thinking about longer life. I wasn't thinking about neuroscience. I certainly wasn't thinking about evolutionary biology. I just wanted to become healthier. At the beginning, every run felt difficult. Some days I questioned why I had started. Then something unexpected happened. I wasn't only becoming fitter, I became calmer, my sleep improved, stress became easier to manage. Running gradually stopped being something I had to do, it became something I wanted to do. Not because every run was enjoyable, but because I loved the person I was becoming through it. Why motivation isn't enough? This is another important lesson from Daniel Lieberman. Waiting until you feel motivated often doesn't work. because evolution didn't design us to crave unnecessary physical effort. Instead, build movement into your identity. Psychologist Dr. Dweck has shown that people who believe their abilities can develop through effort and learning are more likely to persist through setbacks and continue improving. You don't need to become an athlete overnight. You only need to become someone who moves regularly. So how to make movement a part of your life? Well, let's make things practical. First, try to lower the entry barrier. Behaviour scientist Dr. Fogg teaches us that tiny habits create lasting change. Walk for 10 minutes, stretch for 5, run for 1 kilometer. Small successes build confidence, and confidence helps us sustain motivation. Try to find joy. Don't see it as punishment. Daniel Lieberman reminds us that our ancestors moved because movement had meaning. Find yours. Dance, cycling, swimming, walking with a friend, running, gardening. Movement doesn't have to happen in a gym. Next, track your progress. The progress against yourself. Don't compare your pace. Compare your consistency. Every walk, every workout, every run, each one is a vote for the person you're becoming. And finally, think about your future self. Psychologist Dr. Hal Hershfield, who studies our relationship with our future selves, has shown that people often make healthier decisions when they feel emotionally connected to the person they'll become years from now. Physician Dr. Peter Attia asks a simple but powerful question. What do you want to be physically capable of doing when you're 80? Then train for that future today. Every time you move, you're not only helping today's version of yourself, you're helping the person you'll become decades from now. Try to see the big picture. Perhaps exercise isn't really about fitness, perhaps it's about freedom. The freedom to climb stairs without pain, to play with children, to play with your grandchildren, to travel, to carry groceries, to remain independent. Daniel Lieberman often reminds us that the goal isn't simply to live longer. It's to stay healthier for longer. There is a profound difference. Tonight, I'd like to leave you with one simple thought. Your body isn't asking you to become extraordinary. It's asking you to do what it evolved to do. Move, not perfectly, not intensely, simply consistently. Because every walk, every stretch, every run, every bike ride is an act of kindness toward the person you become. And perhaps that's what exercise really is. Not a chore, not a punishment, but one of the purest forms of self-respect. Good night, my friend, and good luck. And if tomorrow brings sunshine or even rain, perhaps let your body remind you that it was made to move.